Hello and welcome back to What is K-pop podcast, in which we're talking about something completely not K-pop related, but like still kind of relevant, you know. Also, if you can hear random noises, I literally just ate and have this habit of like recording just after I eat them, so my tummy's like gurgling and I keep on nearly burping because I ate a quiche with onions in it. So you probably think to yourself, Sophie, why don't you just wait for a few minutes? I could do that, but I have this extremely annoying habit, actually, and I've always had it, even as a kid, in which I just can't wait for anything. Yeah, it's really a problem. So, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm... So, today's episode title is like the mini-sodes, you know, like just random mini episodes that I want to talk about, like something cool and interesting that I thought about. And there's this show on BBC, or CBBC as I should like put it totally, called The Dumping Ground. And it's about these kids that live in a children's care home, and it's basically just the chaos that comes from that sort of realm. It is like a follow-up show from another follow-up show. There's this whole universe of these kids who live in a care home. It started off with a girl called Tracy Beaker. It started as a... Well, it was also a book series by Jacqueline Wilson, but the TV show started in 2002. That ended in 2005, and then 5 years later, in 2010, a new show started called Tracy Beaker Returns, one where she joins her old care home as a care worker, and that ran for 3 seasons, 13 episodes each. And then in early 2013, a new show called The Dumping Ground started, and that's been running ever since 2013, pretty much, consistently having episodes at the start of the year and now, and like towards the September-ish part of the year, ending around about November time, ready for the next year to start. But in episode 5 of The Dumping Ground, like the first season, that was weird. I thought I had weird music. And there was an episode called What Would Gus Want? And Gus is a character that is never explicitly stated if he's on the spectrum, but I relate very heavily to him. So I think it is kind of shown, not told, that he is on the spectrum. And he wants to be a forensic scientist when he's older. He's very into playing piano. He has a lot of quirks that the care workers at his home can't exactly, you know, put their whole focus into nurturing and helping him, with, if that makes any sense. So, like, there's 12 kids at the home. There's only 2 care workers that really work there. Obviously, when it was Tracy Beaker, there was 3, but, like, there's only 2. So they only ever get, like, I think they calculated it, like, 20% of each person's attention or something like that. I can't remember the exact specifics. It's been a while since I watched the episode. But with him being fostered and then adopted, he will get 200% of the time and attention from these 2 people. But what's interesting about these people are that they are a same-sex couple. And and it becomes kind of like a laughing point during the episode. There's one scene between... God, this is going to be difficult, isn't it? I think it's Rick, Tyler, maybe Jodie's in there too. Lily, Carmen, T, and Johnny, I think, are in there. And Electra are all in the scene playing pool together. And Tyler happens to mention that he wants a civil partnership. And they're talking about weddings, right? And what he's actually referring to is a registry office. Like, he wants to not have like a fancy wedding. He just wants to be married in a registry office. But obviously, because it's like, he mentioned something about being in a civil partnership. Is he gay? Like, it's a joke that he might be gay. And like, even back in 2013, like, it was, even I was like, that's not funny though. Like, it's not something to be like, hee hee ha ha, it's funny that someone's gay. It's just life. And like, in the 12 years since then, it again has never been like a funny thing for me. it's just someone's life and they're just living their life. And like Tyler happened to make a mistake in not knowing that like a civil partnership is actually just like a relationship, a type of wedding that you can have. And it like becomes a real problem in the episode, and Johnny mentions that being in like having parents that are the same sex, like two parents of the same sex, is wrong. And like I understand obviously where he thinks of it as being wrong, and like the context behind it doesn't make what he said wrong. It's kind of like not having the full picture. It's kind of like you're not having the experiences of two parents. And obviously I don't have same sex parents. I have a mum and a dad, and my mum specifically has always maintained that it is completely fine for us to be whatever we want. Like, she doesn't care, because like, why would she? If we're happy, then she's happy, right? My dad, I don't know, he's very old in his approach, and I'm sure like if we were to ever bring our partners home, then I'm sure he'd warm up to them. It's just that it's just perspective on like being older and kind of having a bit of more of a older prospect on life. But it's the idea that kids must have a mum and a dad that I do partially agree with, but also don't. Because, a mum, like traditionally, a mum can teach you to cook, they can teach you to sew, and a father can teach you how to ride a bike and fix a car, and, they have different qualities to them. I know for me, when I was growing up, like obviously, with my mum being very ill and stuff, it was a little bit more difficult to be emotionally vulnerable, I guess, with only having dad around, because, he wasn't showing his emotions. So then me and my sister, we couldn't really show our emotions, like, fully. And I'm sure, like, if you have a same sex relationship and have children, it's gonna kind of change things, and like people are gonna like the couple is gonna have those are gonna share some of the characteristics or like roles, I guess, that a mother and a father have. And obviously like not all parents show their kids how to fix a car or something. It was just used an example. Like for me, I never learned how to fix a car. I don't fucking know. I just take it to dad. I also don't have a car, so that probably also helps. I don't drive, which again I feel like surprises absolutely no one. That terrifies me. Like, I just can't imagine ever learning how to drive. Like, it was offered to me a few times actually, but I've just never thought to myself, oh, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to learn how to drive. Like, I just have this thought in my head that I'm just gonna like go off the deep end and just like drive into people, go full on GTA, Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, it's like a weird thing to try and like explain, but also not like try to. It's hard to explain it and not make it sound as though you're trying to rid a person of responsibility, because I never think it's that. They are often making very logical points. It just might not always come across in the best way, perhaps. And that often actually happens with kids' TV, because obviously, like, it's supposed to be marketed towards developing minds, but it's like those kids, they shouldn't be told that being in a gay relationship is anything bad. What is attacking me? Oh, it's the crumbs from the quiche. Because it's not bad. Not any single part of a, well, I'm sure it is in like some ways, if like you're being forced to. I don't know. There's like, just like, there's nothing wrong with being gay or anything. There's nothing. What I'm actually trying to find a profile of another person in the show that was also alluded to be a lesbian. I'm pretty sure it's actually stated in the show. I'm not just like dunking on this person. But no, like in a roundabout way, coming back to K-pop, I feel like it is almost kind of seen as a bad thing to be anything other than complete, like to like announce that you're anything other than straight and still do like fan service, you know, like you can do fan service, but then you can't also be like anything other than straight if you're doing it. Does that make sense? Probably not. It's Electra that I was telling you about. Yeah, she actually had a pride flag in her room, and initially it was supposed to be explored during season 2, but the girl that plays Electra, she actually had to leave the show so that she could go to like acting school, and she couldn't be in like professional work if she was in it, you know. Also, completely off topic, I actually have a spot right in my hairline, actually, like right at the front of my hair. So whenever like I go to like I don't know, like you know when you flick back your hair or something, I'll just catch it, and I'm like, "Ooh, that hurt! That hurt my feelings." So I'm just kind of like in pain to do with that. But yeah, no, it's annoying, kind of, that it was portrayed in that way, especially in 2013, because I feel like obviously things were getting a lot better in just like media in general, but it shouldn't have been this late on for kids, you know, like kids will probably be a lot more understanding and like, you know, learn, like willing to learn than adults could ever, to be honest. Oh, I'm just watching these two pigeons outside my window. Oh god, one of them's trying to get on each other. Side tangent. Just another side tangent before we go. I was in the car actually with my mum. We were sitting obviously in there waiting for my sister to get out of work because like Sainsbury's acquired Argos a few years ago. So obviously she was working in the Sainsbury's but like in the Argos section. And so we were just sat in the Sainsbury's car park and we were both watching these two pigeons making baby pigeons. And I was like, this is disgusting, but I also can't look away. Yeah, it was nasty. Yeah, just watching them do the nasty, it was just like, why am I watching this right now? Also, you never really tend to see baby pigeons, and that's because when a pigeon makes their nests, they always make it like extremely high. So if like they make it on a rooftop and like for some reason you can see onto the rooftop, then maybe you'll see them. But like that's kind of why you don't tend to see baby pigeons that much. Interesting fact for you, yeah. But thank you as always for listening. If you made it this far, that would be cool. Yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon.